It's the live sit and talk with Matthew Batrap. Welcome everybody to another live sit and talk. Today is March 28th, 2013. We've had a lot of stuff happening over the past few weeks. We already talked mostly about the big changes and the store closing down and all of that last week in our special Big Changes live event, talking for about 2 hours on it. Oh, I have water. Okay, good. I was worried for a second I didn't have water. But today we're just going back to our normal broadcasting, whatever it is that I do on these live sit and talks, which is whatever you want me to do. Well, wait. Well, yeah. And Mint Bloom, yes, this is happening now and not in an hour. It should say right now. Hold on. What does our site say? I thought I updated it to the proper time. Did I then screw up the time? Live shows, sit and talk, 3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And that is right now. I had it set to 2 p.m. It was a mistake. Last week's was 2 p.m. Today it's 3 p.m. And there are no live shows tomorrow because it is Good Friday. And we take that day off because it's a holiday, paid holiday. Well, it doesn't really make a difference for Dave and I because, well, being the owners, you don't really, it doesn't make a difference. You get salary whether you work or not. So who shall interrupt Matt's show this week? Well, I don't know. I will tell Dave that you wish us both a blessed holiday weekend, Mystics. Thank you very much. So, let's actually, I need to get warmed up. I feel like I'm just getting on cold and I just need to warm up. So we're going to start off with some Q&A. Okay, so let's do some Q&A. So I'm just going to, maybe just for a few minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever we end up doing, ask your questions in the chat. And I will be happy to answer them. 3-second delay, waiting for questions, and go. Can I make that my ringtone? 7-Foot Cowboy says, and my answer is sure. If you know how to extract it from the video, it's all yours. Cabell 458, how are things, Matt? We've actually had a really good week. The response to our store closing thing was tremendous, and I believe that the MiniWarGaming, or the future of MiniWarGaming, is bright and wonderful. Thanks to you guys. If it wasn't for the response that we got during the sale and stuff, I don't know if that would have happened. But it's been great. Like I said, I'm not going to talk a lot about that. It's only if you ask. So this week has been tremendous. We've been excited, and yeah, we're just working hard to get lots of battle reports out. Do I drink tap water? Magic Mega Man says, yes, this is not tap water. This is just water you buy because we have a little water cooler, but I don't have anything against drinking tap water. Crolinks, is Dave leaving? I keep hearing horrible rumors. He is. Dave is not leaving. Dave is one of the owners of MiniWarGaming, me being the other owner. Dan, however, has left. So Blood of Angel of Menoth has clarified that Dan is leaving, not Dave. 90C says Dan has left. Yes, that's true. Magic Mega Man, Dave is turning into a Chaos Demon Prince, not leaving. That is also true. Yes, we are very sad to see Dan go, but, you know, you've got to move on sometimes. Sometimes life comes in, and you need to move on. We unfortunately can't keep our employees forever. Things happen, so that's it. When's Dave's next live show? Sadocrat asks. It'll be next week at its normal time, which is Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern, I believe. Normally it'd be tomorrow, but because it's Good Friday, he's not doing it. Akimbo Jones, X21, if you could be one race from the Mass Effect universe, which would it be? I don't know if any of them really appeal to me. You know, being Krogan, you're nice and strong, but you're sterile. Being Quarians, you're kind of not really good at anything. And you have, like, immune system problems. The Turians are kind of cool. Obviously don't want to be the female race. What are they called? I don't remember. I don't know. I think human. That would be a good one. If I could be any of them, I would be human. Crolinks is wishing us a happy Easter and happy holiday. Thank you very much. Mystic says, if you hire me, I'll work for you forever. Mint Bloom, sorry for the long post, but Bell of Lost Souls posted that today. Funny, sad, expected GW news. What did they post today? What did they post? I don't see anything posted today about us, unless it's somewhere else. So what did Blood Bowl post? Or Blood Bowl? Bell of Lost Souls? Blood Angel of Manath, what are your impressions on the convergence of Cirrus? It's mixed. I'm excited for a new faction. I'm not particularly a big fan of the way they look, but I don't hate them either. It's more just, they're just like, whatever. I think the way they were painted actually wasn't that good. I think the models will actually be pretty neat when somebody else paints them. I don't know why they chose a dull metallic color scheme, kind of like Necrons. I'm not saying they're trying to do like Necrons. I'm just saying that that's kind of, it's just boring. So if they had chosen maybe another kind of color scheme, it would have been better. Their abilities are kind of neat. They've introduced something new, and we'll see how that works for balance-wise. They're usually pretty good at keeping some semblance of balance in their games, so you can at least hope for that. Cruz Azul 318, will you be posting the names of those who send in their armies to you, MiniWarGaming, for future bat refs? What he's referring to there is I put up a video today telling people that we are looking to buy armies because there's no way we can keep up with everything. And the answer is probably no, because we're buying them, and so we're doing it to build up our armies, not to try to whatever give people credit for that. Not that we don't want to give them credit, it's just that we'll be buying all sorts of models, so it'll be hard to keep track. If you want to send us some for free, well then we might, and if they're good enough to be shown in videos, then we'll probably mention you. No Cath, curious if you're looking for an orc player to replace Dan. We've already got a replacement. It's actually Jay. He actually used to work for us, and then we had to downsize a little bit, and now he's back. So he plays a lot of different things. I think he might play orcs too. I know he plays Dark Angels, which a lot of people have been asking for, but he plays all sorts of different armies. So he'll be filling his boots. Gloomed ready. Matt, will there ever be a way to purchase Dark Potential minis in Europe without the high shipping? Sadly, couldn't grant the sale because of empty pockets. Well, shipping is free from here to Europe for Dark Potential miniatures if you buy at least $100 worth. If you're talking about the import fees, yes. We already have a couple stores in the UK who want to stock Dark Potential, but we're not going to start doing that until probably next year once we have the next wave of miniatures out, because there's just not enough really yet for us to make the investment to get it out into stores. So I want to do it right. I want to get it out to stores when we're ready for that. So yes, there would definitely, at that point, we'll do full distribution. Right now, don't consider Dark Potential fully launched. It is, but it isn't. The rulebook's still in beta. We've only got starter sets out. We're just kind of getting our feet wet, our hands dirty, and then we'll be ready to maybe kick it into a higher gear once we get the next few waves out. Who knows? We'll kind of have to see where that goes. It is a side project for us still. I hope that it turns into something that really supports us. Who knows, right? But right now it is a side project. We are trying to put more of our money into the vault and into our content. Body by Jake, a 40k question from the recent transport video. If you have Khorne Berserkers in a Land Raider, can they assault upon disembarking because it is an assault vehicle? Yes. That's the whole point of an assault vehicle. An assault vehicle supersedes the rule. Remember, special rules always supersede general rules. The general rule is when you disembark from a vehicle, you are not allowed to assault in the same turn. But with an assault vehicle allows you to assault the same turn. That's the whole point of having them. Open-top vehicles are the same way. Buster Pro, I wish to make a trip from Quebec, Montreal, to Wayland to make quite a few bat rep. What are the hotels closest? Oh, Welland. You know, like Wayland. Wayland Games is in the UK. That's a big trip. Welland to make quite a few bat reps. What are the hotels closest to MiniWarGaming? I know there's a Best Western. I don't ever stay at the hotels. People keep asking me this, so I probably should compile some sort of information about the local hotels. But there's like a Best Western that's 5 minutes away, and there's a few hotels around here. You can just go on Google Maps and search for hotels in Welland. I'm sure you'll find a bunch. Can't make any recommendations though because I haven't stayed at any of them. Magic Mega Man, who do you think is more important to keeping humidity safe? The Guard or the Space Marines? I think you mean humanity safe. The Guard or the Space Marines? Well, the Guard are kind of the bulk of the forces. The Space Marines are just the specialists. Like for every Space Marine, there's millions of guard, from what I understand. So in that case, the guard would be more important. But when there's a serious job that needs to be done, the Space Marines seem to be called into that action, because you need the Jedi, right? You need to get the superheroes in there fighting off the big bad guys. But I think they require each other. The Space Marines would not succeed without the Imperial Guard. They just wouldn't. They don't have enough manpower. And the Imperial Guard wouldn't succeed as well without the Space Marines, because the Space Marines can do the specialist jobs. Blood Angel of Benoth, yeah, none of the casters looked that good, probably referring to the Convergence of Cirrus from Privateer Press, and their mechanics do look like fun. Yeah. Cruz Azul, post a link. This is the post about the end of opening gaming in GW stores. Oh, it's on there. So, talked about on DACA. Within the next few months, you'll notice a few changes to your local games workshop. The first of these will be arriving in the next couple of weeks. The most important of these changes is that we will be bringing to a close our open gaming. This is great news, as it inevitably means that your local store will be hosting fantastic new activities and events designed to give you a whole host of new hobby challenges, and our trained staff will be on hand to support you and make sure that you get the most of this awesome new program. I'm sure that many of you will already have noticed a huge surge of GCN clubs. I don't know what that is. We have recently been helping promote and start. We have done this to ensure that all your current hobby activities are continued to be supported in appropriate locations available to all. Finally, I wish to allay any fears or rumors some of you may have heard, namely that Games Workshop is getting rid of its regulars. Please do not be concerned, as this is not the case. GW intends to support all of their collectors, be they new or old, and the coming changes are entirely geared towards us being able to do them forever. Your category not being told to leave. Blah, blah, blah. And... okay. So I guess that's... oh, that's from a specific Games Workshop. So what was the question about that? Are you asking me what I think about that? I think open gaming is important, but Games Workshop stores are usually pretty small, generally, and so maybe they have to make sure they use their space the best as possible. Is it a smart business move? I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. They've analyzed. Remember, they have data from hundreds of stores, and so they're going to have a pretty good idea. This is one area that Games Workshop usually, or should actually be pretty good at, and it's their retail stores. I know that people complain about things like the newbies friendly kind of stuff, but they're working with limited space, and so I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Open gaming is fun, but I also know that we've had most success in our club with the actual league and tournaments. So when there's leagues running, that's when you get the most players really playing and painting and buying. So I think that's important. I don't think that you should ever get rid of open gaming, but if they're limited to the number of tables they have, maybe they have to in order to be able to do the events. So who knows? Don't have all the details, obviously. Penfin7, sorry if this has already been asked, but when will or has Dan left? Dan has already left. He finished last week. Yeah, officially last week. So an IDC is saying that was just one store, one Games Workshop store. Yeah, although they're run by the same company, so you assume that anything that one's going to do, the other ones are going to follow suit or whatever. I don't think they really have a choice in how they run it. Crowlinks, is Dave going to finally collect that Tau army he's been promising us? I don't know. We definitely are going to want to get some of the new Tau models, at least for Owen. Dave jokingly said the other day that he'd like to collect a Tau army, but I'm not sure if he'll actually do it. So I actually don't know. Pygmalion, I'm with Penfin7. I just crawled out from under a rock or something. Did his beard take off on a solo career or something? I can't really go into all the details, but let me just put it this way. Everything ended on good terms. And that's really all I'll say about it. That he's moving out west, and he's moving on with his life, and that happens. So... Magic Mega Man, who would win, the Guard or the clones from Star Wars? So that depends. Are you talking about the clones from Star Wars 4, 5, and 6, or the clones from Star Wars 2 and 3? Because the clones from Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 can't hit the broadside of a barn. There's like 20 of them shooting at Luke, and he's just like, boo, you're gone. Boo, and you're gone. Boo, and you're gone. And there's like... and what are you shooting at? They're not even shooting anything. So obviously their ballistic skill is like -4 or something. But the clones for Star Wars 2 and 3, now those guys were pretty intense. You could say that they were nothing like the ones from Star Wars 4, 5, and 6. You can actually say that a lot of things were nothing like from Star Wars 4, 5, and 6, but we won't get into that. So Imperial Guard versus clones from Star Wars 4, 5, and 6. Imperial Guard definitely would win. Imperial Guard against clones from Star Wars 2 and 3 would be a pretty close fight. But I would say the clones would win because they have better technology. Their blasters are obviously better than last guns. And the tanks that Imperial Guard have look like tanks from Earth today, pretty much. And so they have pretty advanced weaponry. The clones do. So the clones would win. So I guess it depends on what era we're looking at. So yeah, there's my answer. Okay. Blood Angel of Mena says the sword is the Marines and the hammer is the guard of the Imperium. Yeah, that's basically how they look at it. Nocath, Convergence color scheme is reminiscent of those 20s to 40s sci-fi robots, and I agree, a little bland. Yeah, they have some personality to them, I have to say that much. But I think they made a mistake in their color scheme. That's actually probably, if you think about it, the painting scheme on the models is going to sell the models probably more than what the models look like themselves. You can take a bland-looking model, and if you paint it up really well, it can look impressive. And you can take a really impressive model and paint it up poorly, and it'll look really bad. So, yeah. Bunch of people talking about Games Workshop stores. Storm of Swords is MiniWarGaming keeping their tables for gamers. Let me just tell you my intention. I don't know what we're going to end up being able to do, but we want to run a club here. Now, thankfully, there's a couple stores not too far away, about 20 minutes away in St. Catharines. There's a new one just opening up doing Privateer Press, and I actually know the guy, and we've talked already, and he's going to be running Privateer Press stuff, which is great, because we have a lot of Privateer Press players. In fact, Privateer Press games were outpacing Games Workshop games a lot in our club. Which is apparently something I'm hearing from a lot of stores. So it's not so much one game anymore being played in all these stores. But anyway, so our Privateer Press players are taken care of, but at the same time they still would like the game here as well. So if things work out, what I'd like to do is keep the club, and it'll be run with volunteers rather than employees. So I hope so. I hope so. Probably won't be as open and quite as much as it is right now, but we're going to try to. Daniel Shin 31, Matt, who's your favorite Starcraft 2 caster? Husky Starcraft, H to the Esky Husky. I just like him. There's other good ones too. There's certain ones I can't stand. Some of the ones from like MLG or some of the other places you can go and pay to watch. Some of the casters are really good. I think Tasteless, he's the good one. Day 9 is pretty good too. I like Day 9. I just like Huskies though because he just uploads these nice quick battle reports. They're usually 15 to 25 minutes, so I'm able to just open up his channel and watch them on a lunch break or something. Whereas like Day 9's channel, they're usually hour or 2 hour long things where he does a bunch of things, and so it's hard to just plop it open and watch. So Husky definitely has my vote for my favorite. Mint Bloom, locally the local gaming shop closed, so people were congregating to the local Games Workshop. I'm in Los Angeles, so the Los Angeles bunker was a big destination as well. LA bunker closed, replaced by a one-person store. Ouch, that sucks. And the other local Games Workshop is the only organized place within 20-mile radius. Yeah, see, I don't get that. With a large population like Los Angeles, you think that there would be a huge independent retailer there who would be able to take in to take in all that business. It's got to be enough business there. Typically, what Games Workshop recommends is that you have a population of about 500,000 in the immediate surrounding area to really support a gaming store, which I think is a good guideline. You could probably do it with less, but you're just never going to be able to grow to be a very big store. Unless you do other things as well. See, then you got to start delving into the other ones, but then you might end up putting more of your focus there. So Los Angeles obviously has that kind of population. So I know there's transportation issues and all that, but still, you replace that just with, or you counter that with just how many people are there. All right. Blood Angel of Menoth, to play my nerd card here, not all the stormtroopers are clones. They are regular enlisted men. Oh, see, I didn't know that. I had always thought that every stormtrooper that you saw were clones, but Yeah. Storm of Swords, play Battlefront 2, and you learn that they changed the clone gene seed to make them support the Empire, which probably nerfed them. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Diz Ziegler, the beauty about the Games Workshop stores in Germany is that they will be one-man joints, and they canceled most of the European GD events. They want to maximize their profits for their new investor. That is the main reason for the shutdown of the North America online selling. As far as I've heard, it's going to be Mattel or Hasbro. Yeah, I've heard, you know, I've had suspicions and I've heard rumors that they're just trying to make their profits look as big as possible so that they can sell. Because this current CEO, who also holds a lot of the shares, he's ready for retirement. So why not sell the business and then be done with it? Gloom Ready, Matt, will there be any salvagers beta rules for testing this sometime this year? Because I like tiny busy robots a lot and I'm waiting for them. I don't know. I can't say. There's no plans for it. But I know a lot of people keep asking for it. But I'm also holding out because of that. There's so many people that want it that I want to do it right. So we just need maybe a bit more time. Mint Bloom, Mattel, or Hasbro will be a bad fit for the hobby. They are pretty strong about no blood and restricted violence. Well, it might not be them. I'm not sure. It's all rumors. Unless you can point me somewhere. If you do have articles or something to point me to that's not just rumors, I'd love to see it. See, I think it would be cool if it was like Wizards of the Coast or something, because as much as they haven't done perfectly and everything, they might have the money to do it. Does Hasbro own Wizards of the Coast? Oh, I didn't know that. Daniel Shin 31, Husky's my favorite as well. Good pick. Storm of Swords, Matt, what do you think of Tyranids getting flyers and a new codex by Matt Ward later this year? I think it's great. Sure, Matt Ward has not done perfectly in the past, but I actually don't mind his stuff that much. Once you get over the fact that Games Workshop codexes and the rule books are poorly written to the fact that you can find all sorts of loopholes and things that contradict themselves, you can actually have a lot of fun with them. So I don't have a problem with Matt Ward's codexes. As for Tyranids getting flyers, I would suspect that by that rumor it would be flying monstrous creatures. I wouldn't want any flyers. I want flying monstrous creatures, lots of them. Maybe not lots of them, but at least a couple more. The Flying Hive Tyrant is super powerful, but incredibly expensive. So I'd like something within the 100 to 150 point range. It doesn't have to be very powerful. And you know, I know maybe that's not doable. Maybe like 150 to 200 points, because Tyranid flying monstrous creatures typically are very strong. So yeah, and the Harpy doesn't really count because he can't fight other flyers because he only has blast weapons. The Ziegler, I'm pretty sure that with the financial power of those two, Hasbro and Mattel, it'll be far away from goodbye, Games Workshop and Warhammer. Yeah, but anybody who buys them is not just going to trash them. Maybe they'll end up putting them out of business, but that can happen. That's always a danger when you switch over CEOs. I've studied a lot of business stuff, and really what makes or breaks a company is its CEO. You can have the strongest company in the world, and a CEO will step in and can just mess it up. And you can have a very weak and a company that's not doing very well, and the CEO can make all the difference. So it really does come down to the management. Who would have thought it? So as the current CEO of Games Workshop, once he retires and is replaced, that next person will determine whether Games Workshop flourishes or not. It's really what it comes down to. Fromagerie. Have a game against New Demons sometime? Well, you could come in, Fromagerie, and we could do that. Dave wants to collect the New Demons as well, so we might see more chaos stuff there. 90C, yeah, but will all be pre-built and painted. You're talking about Mattel and stuff. I doubt it. I doubt they would switch to that. Doofy Dobie, Games Workshop under Wizards of the Coast. Let's hear it for crappy models and worse rules. Maybe. Maybe. Remember, they'll be buying like their manufacturing capability too. Cruz Azul, what's WOTC? Wizards of the Coast. They're the ones that make D&D and all that stuff. Crolinks, what do you think of the new Tau flyer design? I like the Forge World ones significantly better. I do like the Forge World ones better, but I think the new Tau ones are cool too. Daniel Shin, who's your favorite StarCraft 2 player? Well, I don't know. There's a bunch that I like. I would say that the one I would get most excited for when I see that one is posted about him is Protoss player. Nice guy. A little older than everybody else. Come on, help me out here. He usually does. Anybody? Anybody? Not Grubby. No, not Grubby. Starts with White Raw. That's what it is. Thank you, Daniel Shin. Yes, White Raw. I like watching him. I wouldn't say he's my favorite, but I like him. I like players who will do unique things. So people who experiment, even if they end up losing, and just do interesting things. So they're not just doing the typical builds. That gets boring when they just do the same builds over and over again. I know that they have to practice that to win tournaments, but it's nice to see that really, like White Raw is one of those who doesn't win all the big tournaments all the time, but he provides very entertaining games. All right. Diz Eager, Matt, a thing I already mentioned at one of Dave's shows, it would be awesome if you could work something out to have all the Vault functions on mobile devices. I agree, and that's something that we've been thinking about, and in the next year it might be something we do. Because the number of mobile users on our website has grown significantly over the past couple of years, and it'll continue to grow. So we want to provide all the value we can for our Vault members. Cruz Azul, so they will make a new starter set every 6 months to make old models weak. LOL. Which one are you referring to? I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Are you referring to the Games Workshop stuff, or the Privateer Press stuff, or Dark Potential? Quite Long Man, hi Matt, massive fan, thank you. Bit concerned that as a Vault member, a bit too much of the content is painting guides, tutorials, live shows like you guys. This really isn't my thing. Will actual Bat-Refs Tactica become more commonplace in the near future? Well, not just the near future, the present. Like if you've noticed, this week, we've put a battle report in the Vault every single day. And I will tell you that my goal, and this is a dangerous thing to say because it's a goal and not necessarily something that we will achieve, is to have a battle report in the Vault every day. Right, Dave?
That is a very lofty goal.
We're doing it. So far, we've got battle reports lined up for the next week at least. And you'll have to forgive us if we don't achieve it every single day. But that is my goal. And actually, my goal is to get more than one a day. But right now, it's just to get that one a day. So somebody was asking if it's going to become more commonplace to have battle reports. Because that's what he's interested in.
Oh, yeah, that's a for sure answer.
Yeah, yeah. They'll definitely be having more. We already are having more. So that's a good thing. So, and Tactica, of course, too. Yes, more Tactica. Fromagerie, you should have a Heart of the Swarm land MiniWarGaming Battle Royale. Unfortunately, not everybody plays Heart of the Swarm. Would be fun. Punisher 1, loopholes in Games Workshop codices? You mean like how a Khorne Demon Prince can take psychic powers since the restriction on master levels in the Demon's book is based on Mark of Khorne rather than Demon of Khorne? Yeah, there's a number of loopholes and things that contradict themselves. Chris114, Olympus Has Fallen is not bad of a movie. Okay, that seems kind of random. Storm of Swords, they are saying Mycentic Spores, Leviathans, and a Warriors coming with wings, and a massive hive creature as a new HQ, so the rumors say. Leviathans would be cool. Warriors with wings. We already have Warriors with wings. They're just jump infantry. I don't see how they could be turned into flying monstrous creatures, because they're not monstrous creatures. Mycetic Spores, how could those be flying monstrous creatures? Well, we'll see. Leviathans, that works. We'll see. Blood Angel of Menoth, do you think GW is losing out on an opportunity to create an online game that is a version of their tabletop game, like Vassal? Not really. I think it would be a good promotional thing, but I don't think it'll make or break them by not doing that. Dezeger, they missed out on StarCraft already, so what? No, that's not what he's talking about. He's not talking about making a computer game, because obviously they have that with their Dawn of War franchise and Space Marine and that. He's talking about making a game that just completely emulates the tabletop game. I've talked about that idea for Dark Potential, and it's something I want to do, because I think it would be really good. For one thing, you could actually make money from it, make it free to play, and then microtransactions to build your army and stuff. And also that people could actually experiment with models and stuff before buying them. So that'll be fun. We'll see. Variamp, the D&D skirmish game was actually a lot of fun. It reminds me a lot of Worm Hordes. I've never actually played it. I know that they had it, but I never saw it played. Doofy Dobie, Games Workshop bought TSR. The game system got nerfed, and they started shoving crappy figs down our throats. What is TSR? Chris114, Games Workshop has been around for 50 years and will still be for a long time, though. You know what? Well, yeah, they've been more on like 30 to 40 years, but that doesn't matter. Other companies, it just takes one CEO, and within a decade, you can see a company tank. Will they disappear? Of course not. What happens to companies that tank? Well, they get bought out by somebody else, and then that really changes their direction for better or for worse. It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. So, we'll see. Crolinks, is there a plan to make it so I can easily find out how long my Vault membership has until it needs to be renewed? That's not a bad idea. I guess I could do that. I'll add it to my list of things to do. Drakiskier. 2 Turvagons and a Hive Tyrant in the background there. Yeah, well, I've always got plans to expand my Tyranid army. I still have to get those 108 Hormigons. Kind of got preoccupied with, the end of the store stuff. But, yeah. Anyway, but I do plan on getting those done. Whether I do them or whether I get somebody else to do them. One way or the other. Variamp, those are some awesome gloves. Yes, he's busy working out because he came into work late because his family was sick today, unfortunately. So we weren't able to work out at lunch like we normally do. Chris114, they must still be doing some things right. Games Workshop does a lot of things right. Games Workshop makes fantastic models, make fantastic rules. As much as there's loopholes and they contradict, they are fun. It is fun to play 40K, even fantasy sometimes. And the models look fantastic. And they make some stupid, foolish mistakes when it comes to some of their policies. But other than that, I think that they're actually doing quite fantastically. And I do like Games Workshop's models and their games and that kind of part of their business, but it's more the management of it that sometimes has problems. Crolinks, you're getting Tau, right? Well, not me personally, but probably Owen for sure, and maybe even somebody else. Doofy Dobie, anyhow, off my soapbox. Matt, if I started playing Nids, what would be a good start? Well, the battle forces are usually the best way to get some, the most models for the amount of money that you're putting into it. It depends. Okay, when you want to start, like let's say you just want to do a 500-point army, then just grab the battle force. Warriors and Gaunts. That's a good start. A good, solid 1,000-point army will usually have a Turvagon, and then a bunch of Termagants. You'll need a bunch of Termagants. And then to support it, you'll want things like Hormigants and what else is good support at a 1,000-point level? The Trigons are pretty good support. They're pretty expensive, though. Things like the Hive Guard or Zoanthropes are good support. Once you get up to the 1,500 to 2,000-point level, then you'll usually want to own 2 or 3 Turvagons. You'll want to have a Hive Tyrant. Gene Stealers are optional, but they're really good too. So basically, do you want to go like heavy Gaunts, or do you want to go heavy Gene Stealers, or a mixture of both? That's up to you. Warriors are good too, but there's a lot of things that can insta-kill them, so I don't use them quite as often. And then for your heavy support, the Tranifexes and Trigons are really good. Carnifexes aren't as good. They are still fun to play, but they're not as competitive as the other things. So, and most of the fast attack choices aren't really competitive. So I usually don't. I stay away from them for competitive play, but for fun, their Gargoyles, of course, are neat, and Harpies are fun. All right. Storm of Swords, I was just listing the rumored models coming out, not just Monstrous Creatures. Oh, okay, so not just the Monstrous Creatures. I see. Gatha88, whatever did happen to Games Workshop's attempt at a 40k MMO, well, they decided not to do it. So, yeah, it went down on THQ probably. Morton J, greetings from Germany. Greetings, Germany. Finally able to watch thanks to the time change. What do you think of the fast release schedule and new codexes? I'm feeling that I might start collecting cool models from other armies rather than looking at starting a whole new army. I like that they're releasing lots of new stuff. It's making it harder to keep up with it, but they need to update a lot of armies, so maybe they're trying to catch up. Or maybe they're just speeding up their release schedule to try to keep people occupied with Games Workshop products so there's no real downtime so that you're not looking at other games, which would make sense. They do want to beat their competition, right? So, KQ1 say, hey, did he just say, what is TSR? Yes, I did. Blood Angel of Menace says TSR was the original owners of D&D. What does TSR stand for? Somebody tell me that. All right. Now I feel old, says Kiak1. Yeah. Punisher 1. Gatha Dark Millennium was changed to be a single player game, and then I think it was announced to be cancelled. Yeah. Basically it died. Which is okay, because I don't like MMOs. Doofy Dobie, so do I. My RPGA card is one of the under 1,000 numbers. Oh, so do I. I see. Alright. Drakeskier, wow, I posted about the models about 5 minutes ago, a little behind in the chat. Well, I can only read them so fast, and then I respond to them, and by that point, 10 more people have chatted. So, would you rather me skip your chat comments? I don't like skipping them. I like going through them all. Gatha88, that doesn't bode well for their video game hopes. I'm sure that they'll find... There'll be new companies that'll be able to produce them. Like, think about it. Computer game companies come and go like nothing else. And good series, like good selling games, will get bought out and they'll get produced by somebody else. Sometimes it's for a better thing, it's for better, and sometimes it's for worse. Storm of Swords, Games Workshop releasing the codexes fast is great because it gets the armies even and makes games fun as opposed to being slaughterhouses like they are sometimes, i.e. Tau versus Space Marines. Well, see, the problem is if you play 40k in tournaments, then you're going to be constantly exposed to that. If you're playing friendly with your friends, then you can try out all sorts of different configurations, and you can ignore the fact that things are imbalanced because you can be like, hey, I know my Space Marines are stronger than your Eldar normally, so I'm going to try this crappier list, and we'll have some fun with it. And that's what's fun about the game. The Bloody Gamers. Hi, Matt. Sorry if this has been asked, but I just joined. Can you please do another Lizardman battle report? I have only seen you play with them once. I will be doing more fantasy battle reports, yes. Nighty C. I always thought it best not to buy huge amounts of models at once, as you can get painting burnout, looking, thinking you have to do too much to do. I do agree. Doofy Dobie. Just thought of something. What if Hasbro buys them, but with Games Workshop the quality and variety of Wizard of the Coast models increases? Interesting. As well as Wizard of the Coast figs increase as well. It's possible. Greenleaf Terrain. He talked about the new changes already. What? I don't know. I talked about the new changes last week, but if you have specific questions, go ahead. Zip Zop Zoop Iddy Bop. Zip Zop Zoopity Bop. There we go. Hey Matt, just discovered you guys about a week ago. Awesome. A newcomer. Love your videos. Hope you do Battletech in the future. Battletech is definitely on our radar now. I can't tell you how excited I am to finally be able to do other games. It's just so exciting. It's going to breathe new life. We'll see. And then EC says, Mo. No. All right. The Bloody Gamers. What would you like to see changed in the Tyranid next codex? I actually really like the way the Tyranids are right now. I guess my minor gripes, like the Karn effect, that's just more... I just want more stuff. I want more flying stuff. I want more anti-air stuff. So I want more Skyfire things too. Like, there should be a Hiveguard variant who can Skyfire. Just things to take care of the flyers. It took a while for the Tyranids to finally be able to take care of vehicles. So now they can take care of vehicles pretty well. And so now I want something to take care of flyers. And that's it, just to balance it. Variamp, I think Wizards of the Coast would be a good fit because as much as I hate to admit it, they would do wonders for a tournament environment. Yeah, actually they do have that well organized when you think of that. So, Fromagerie, ever going to paint the Hierophant? Actually, it's 80% painted. So yes. Epic Guy, will Dan be going to Valhalla with MiniWarGaming? I don't think so. Mint Bloom, fingers crossed they don't change the orc fluff. Me like my orky fluff. Well, hopefully they don't change the fluff. They just actually give you some more variety in your army. They're just boys. Storm of Swords need to be able to take more Carnifexes in the game like we used to be able to, and more big things. Also, there needs to be more troops that are heavier than warriors, and we definitely need flying monsters creatures. I don't know if we need more heavier troops than warriors. Troops are troops. They're the little scuttly guys. So, yeah. Morton J. Tactical Studio Rules. Oh, that's TSR. I've really never heard of that. Chaplain Rob. Heck, I remember the publisher Tor. Anyone else? They still around? Yeah, Tor's still around. I thought they do lots of books. Hammer T10. Will you do more Necron how-to videos? I don't remember seeing Praetorians yet. You haven't seen the Praetorians yet because I don't have any Praetorians. Hence why we're looking to buy miniatures because I just can't possibly get everything myself. Drake Hiskier. I'm not complaining about it, just making note of it. Noted. Morton J. Sorry. Tactical Studies Rules. Still not getting what you're trying to say. The Bloody Gamers, what Tau model do you think is best from this release? I haven't actually looked closely at them, but I like the idea of a big battle suit, as long as it's not counted as a monstrous creature. Mint Bloom, Zenga doing Warhammer 40k version of Farmville. Right. Nighty Sea growing orcs LOL. The Bloody Gamers, thanks for your answer, Storm of Swords. You're welcome. Mint Bloom, sorry, that's Zynga. Right. Variamp. Well, the people that do the Total War series are apparently doing Warhammer. Yes, they are. That was announced. Warhammer Total War, which will be cool. I just think that's so awesome. Just think of monsters and magic and the Total War environment. Oh. Galamir, ooh, what about Heavy Gear? That's definitely on our radar too. We have other games that we need to cover first. Heavy Gear is not the top. Infinity, Malifaux, we want to do... let me tell you this. Infinity, Malifaux, and Dreadball. Those are the three I want to do. They're not necessarily the three that we're going to do next, but they are what I want to do. They're the ones that interest me the most, and also got the highest votes. The Bloody Gamers, have you ever played Gears of War 3? No. Mephisto and BA, Matt, are there any plans for Gold Vault members? Yes, it is still in the works, so I can't reveal anything yet, but we are working on that. Drakiskier, and it might actually make the Gold Vault membership better than it was before, but we'll get into that later. Drakiskier, what I would like with the next NID decks is a few small tweaks and point adjustments. That's all, really. Yeah. Mint Bloom, April Fools, or maybe not. Not. Matthews 888, can we see the 80% finished Hierophant? Hey, Dave.
Yeah, I got it.
Thanks. Yes. Actually, it's Chris that was painted up most of it. Or he did all of it. Drakiskier, more Carnifexes? We can take 9 and under 1999 points, and up to 18 and over. Well, they're 160 points. So I guess you could take 9. Thank you. Yeah, this is what Chris has been working on, so it's in my color scheme. So he's airbrushed this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he still has a bit more left to do, right?
I don't know.
Looks like it, because these are obviously not done. There's no detail on them. Like this side has something on it and this side doesn't. So it's a work in progress. He's just doing it here and there because obviously he's got work to do. But
I
yeah.
think he was actually just experimenting on it.
Oh yeah, just experimenting? It looks like it. But that actually, it makes it close to completion. Like I know you can put tons of detail into it, but that's just not my style. I'm a big cockroach. I can barely stand on my legs. So don't like take your little knife to my foot, otherwise I'll go blah. Thank you.
I'll do that as many times as you want if I get that type of response. That was kind of... I'm glad this is on video.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Cruz Azul, Matt Ward had his hand in the 6th edition rule book in order to make Tyranids the most overpowered army in 6th edition after he writes their codex, aka smash attacks. Just being cynical. I don't find them to be most overpowered. I think they're competitive, but definitely not the most overpowered. Everybody complains about everybody else's armies being overpowered, though. The Bloody Gamers, have you and Dave had a game with the new Lord of the Rings game yet? No. We probably should, but at the same time, it's not really getting that popular. Storm of Swords, yes, let's see that Hierophant. Done. Doofy Dobie, Tactical Studies Rules equals TSR. The game D&D started as Chainmail, a game fairly similar to Warhammer Fantasy. Fromagerie, you see the new Necron cheese list that involves using Ghost Arcs to res your lords, overlords while they are in squads of warriors. I haven't. I didn't think that they could do that. They only get warriors back up on their feet. So I don't see how they could do that. I am curious as to how somebody would do that. So please post a comment as to what it is that they do. Shotgun Jolly, what did I miss? Just got the notification, had to kick people out of my office so I can listen. You'll have to watch the recording to see what you missed. We've already been going for 45 minutes. Galamir Dreadball, I've demo playtested. That's a real fun game. Has some wonderful Hail Mary moments. Yeah, it looks like it's just fun. Something that you don't try to take too seriously. You just have a lot of fun with it, like Blood Bowl. I want to get into Blood Bowl 2. That was actually another one we wanted to do, but I've heard rumors it's getting updated this year, so we're kind of like on the fence whether that means we want to do it before it gets updated or after, because it'll have new models. So we're not sure yet. So Dreadball is what we'll get into first. Storm of Swords, explain to me how we can take 9 in a 1999 list. It's because you can take them in squads of 3, and there's 3 heavy support, so there's 9. And that's about 1,700 points, I think. They're 160 points times by 9. That's 1,440 points. So you could easily take 9. It's not necessarily the best choice, but you can definitely take that many. Unupgraded, that is. No Cath, what faction are you thinking from Infinity? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't really looked at it much yet. Matt Use 88. Nice, that looks great so far. Probably with the Hierophant, yep. Storm of Swords, yeah, but what a waste of points. Who cares? It's not always about making the most overpowered army. I know that can be fun, but sometimes it's just about playing Apocalypse, where you just bring tons of stuff and have lots of fun. So yeah, the Hierophant isn't that powerful. You think it was. It probably was when it first came out, you know. 16 strength 10 shots sounds really good, but until you see what the other guy has. Oh, at the Carnifex, Storm of Swords is saying the Hierophant looks awesome as the Carnifex response. Yeah, same thing with Carnifex though. It's kind of just fun. That's a lot of wounds to chew through. Unfortunately, there are only 4 wounds each, not 6 wounds like the Tyrannifex and the Turbogons, but you know. Greeny Terrain just sent list of Malifaux painted crews, Matt, but my camera only works for terrain. We'll bring them by if you like. Sure, bring them by. I can't promise anything, so just bring them by and I'll take a look and I'll let you know. George Kiskier, yeah, they can't res lords. The actual wording of the ability says warriors, not models in a squad. Yeah, exactly. So I'm wondering what you could do to work with that. The Bloody Gamers, I think that if you did a Lord of the Rings game and went by the likes and comments, should determine if you should continue. Of course, but it's until now we were just kind of trying to get. Even now we're still just trying to get what's popular out. We're trying to get more 40k and War Machine stuff out because that's what the majority of people want. Blood Angel of Menoth Infinity always looked like fun, but they have a lot of miniatures, kind of daunting. Yeah, I did notice that. Just looking at it, you're like, holy cow. I think they do that because, and I may be wrong, but you don't really get one miniature, a ton of one miniature. Like you get lots of Termagants or Homagants or like that kind of stuff. So you need lots of different guys. I may be wrong about that, but since it's more like a smaller scale game, it seems to be that way. Grundy 1984, tell Dave to do another Chaosy Bat Rep against Andy's Orcs. Okay, I will. Hammer T10, why would a female warrior go into battle wearing a bikini when the mean go in with this full bulky battle armor? Lame. I agree. Yeah, I think that the way females are depicted in computer games and in miniature tabletop games are often just bad. Epic Guy, wah, yep. Draxier, I love Doc Effect Squads, 36 Twin Link Strength 6 shots. Yes, very powerful. But only 4 wounds. Yeah, only 4 wounds. Yes, so you have to take it into context. It's minimum 160 points. It's a monstrous creature. Monstrous creatures typically have at least 4 wounds. And when I can go and take a Turbogon for the same price, or pretty much the same price, and it has 6 wounds, and it has psychic powers, and it can birth Termagants, you can kind of see why you'd want to take one over the other. Or even a Trigon for around the same price. It has 6 wounds, and it can deep strike, and it's faster, and it can shoot, and. Hammer T10, I'm thinking of Infinity with the female warrior comment. Yeah. Corlinks, do you like Dork Tower? Never heard of it. Blood Angel of Menoth, medics in Starcraft are well represented, though all the medics being female is a bit sexist. Well, it's really only one model, right? So all the Marines are male. So actually, yeah, I think that they are well represented, unless you click on them too many times, and then they start to say some questionable things. The Warhammer Lady, hi Matt. Hello, the Warhammer Lady. Welcome to our live sit and talk. The Bloody Gamers, why do you not want the new Tau Riptide to be a monstrous creature? Well, I think because it shouldn't be, because it's not a monstrous creature, it's a walker. I know, yes, the Dread Knight was made a monstrous creature, which I just think proves that they shouldn't have monstrous creatures and vehicles. There should just be one rule set for the two. The Sering, what's the best choice for Space Wolves against Flyers? I don't play Space Wolves. Gloom Ready. I actually refuse playing games where my character/minis are wearing bikinis for armor. I want to play a serious character, not something that is just something for guys to drool over. Yeah, I never like taking, like if those are involved in the game, I just ignore them. And if the game has too many of them, then I won't support those games. Pricey 333, Aegis Defense Line. Yeah, they're not a bad response to Flyers. It's only one gun, but it's not too bad. Curlinks. 40k Sisters of Battles are the only ones I've seen not in bikini armor. They are stripper shoed. Yeah, they have the high heels, but at least they are fully clothed and armored. They were also designed a long time ago, which is why they look so funky. But yes, at least they're fully clothed. King Sloppy 420, hi Matt, it's Matt. Will you keep online store? No. Pricey 333 with quad gun. Yes. No Cath. Should be called Monstrous Enemies. True. Galamir. Well, the Sister Repentia are pretty bad. Yes, that's true. I really don't look at the Sisters of Battle that much. They're kind of a dumb army. The Warhammer Lady. What point level do you think Warhammer 40k is best played? 1500 to 2000. You tend to get the games done in a good amount of time, and you're able to bring what you want. Aaron Mint, Crolinks, Privateer Press. That is true. Storm of Swords, 2,000 points is fun, but my favorite is the Apocalypticon games with 500,000 points. Yes, of course, you got to play Apocalypse games every once in a while because it's just sometimes it's fun just to play tons of stuff and not worry about strategy as much as just things dying. Pricey 333, funny thing, I actually used that an hour ago. LOLs. Ah, the quad gun, yes. Epic Guy, would you ever cover Flames of War? In response to what armies do you want us to cover video? Well, I saw a lot of people saying they wanted us to, so I guess it's something we might do, but not in the near future. I particularly don't have any interest in it. Maybe I'd be persuaded otherwise by somebody who really likes it, like locally. But once we have more Battle Report players, then we could start to segregate and say, okay, you guys take care of these games, and then I don't have to worry about playing it. But will I ever cover it? It's hard to say. It's not in our current plans. Galamir, I like them with the old Grey Knight book. I had a nice Witch Hunter / Demon Hunter list. I missed that one. Storm of Swords. With your store going out, what will happen to Apocalypticon? Nothing. It'll continue on as normal. Pricey 333 lost by 1 because of Linebreaker. Going on about the game. The Bloody Gamers, you should have a game with Joe. It would be awesome to see you being tactical and him going full force. It would be. He works during the day, and so do I, so it doesn't often work well together. King Sloppy 420, and I am sorry to hear about you having to close the store. Big bummer, man. I am a huge supporter of you guys. Keep up the good work with Dark Potential. Thank you. I'm disappointed to close the store, and I'm happy at the same time. I'm disappointed to lose the employees, but I'm not disappointed to lose the stress and the huge investment that's required to keep it going. So now we can really go full force into our videos, which is what we've always wanted to do. Blood Angel of Menoth, do you have a time frame to inform us about the changes to MiniWarGaming? Which changes in particular? If you're talking about the Gold Vault member changes, hopefully within... It's hard to say, because basically what we're trying to do is work with some other stores to get you a good discount at their stores. And it'll actually cover more of the world. We've got stores from different countries who are willing to do it. So that's why I'm saying it will be better than before, because you'll actually, be able to get it from stores who... I can't say too much. But some of them need some time to be able to come up with all the details and see if they're going to do it. So you'll know within the next month or two. I can say that much for sure. Pololaka, what is Infinity? Who publishes it? First, I have heard of it. Infinity is by Corvallis Bell or something like that. If you search for Infinity the Game, actually I think it's infinitythegame.com. You can find out more about it. Crolinx is leaving by Aaron Mint. What Infinity army would you like to play? Don't know. Cruz Azul, what foods do you not like? Certain things you stay away from. I like lots of food. I don't like beans. I never liked beans. Still don't like beans. I love chicken wings. And raw fish. Seriously. Not sushi. I love sushi too, but that's different. Love all you can eat sushi. Oh, it's good stuff. I love food. I just love all sorts of food. Just want to hug all of it, but I can't. Can't hug all the food. Storm of Swords, gotta go. See you, Storm of Swords. Matt, as always, you make great live sit and talks, and we'll see you next week. We will see you next week. Pricey 333, not wargaming, but I have a driving test on Saturday. Wish me luck. Good luck. The Warhammer Lady, when do you think it would be a good point to start playing Dark Potential? I'd love some of the miniatures, but is it still more incoming? If I'm being honest, I would say, well, we're planning on doing another fundraiser. It seems to be the general consent that people want to support us on that. And with the next wave of miniatures coming out, that, I believe, will make the game really fun to play. Right now, it's a starter set, so you can definitely try it out. There's good army deals on right now. For $100, you can get a full army. And that's shipped free anywhere in the world. So it's not a bad time that way, but the longevity of the game will really increase once the next wave comes out. King Sloppy, maybe one day you could open a Dark Potential store. Definitely not. I do not plan on going into retail for Dark Potential. I will let the retailers who are already established do that. Jatref, hey, check out these Illuminati secrets. What has that got to do with anything? Are you spamming? I think you're spamming. So, you don't want to talk about Illuminati here. It has nothing to do with anything. Red Dragon, will you do Kickstarter? Indiegogo. Kickstarter's international now and gets more traffic. Well, Kickstarter still doesn't do Canada. They only do US and UK, so we've got to find a way around that if we wanted to use Kickstarter. The two choices that I have are Kickstarter or one that I design myself. And if I design it myself, it'll still be run on our site. We get to keep 100% of the money rather than paying out a few percent. But otherwise, I'd like to get it on Kickstarter because that'll give us more traffic. Mystic says his spamming ways have been ended. Thank you. Yes, because I don't recognize that username, so you can go. Aaron Mint, judging by your taste in, well, everything nerdy, I would advise Combined Army. All right, I'll have to take a look at that. Wow, this whole warm-up 15-minute Q&A has turned into the entire show, which I guess is usually what live sit-and talks are. But it was just, the questions have been so good that it's been kind of fun to answer them. So we got another minute or two. I'll answer a few more questions and then I gotta go. The Warhammer Lady, by the way, thank Dave for Krukgar. I'm going to paint him up next. I will thank him. Blood Angel of Minoth. Indiegogo is available in Canada. That's why we used it. What you played on YouTube used it, and he is located in Canada. Yep, we used Indiegogo for our first one. Fromagerie. Oh, finally we're getting it. It's that the Ghost Ark rules for their ability to resurrect warriors is poorly written and ambiguous and references units instead of specific types of models. I personally don't think that it works, but there are many out there that think that if you have an independent character, a character in a unit, you can use the Ark to resurrect them. Yeah, and I would disagree with that because I think it does it just say units? It would probably say units of warriors, in which case, yeah, obviously poorly written, but obvious in their intent. King Sloppy 420, I am mad I never got to visit the store. Well, we'll still be here, same location, so you can still visit. It just won't have the store. So you can still come in, do battle reports against us. All that still exists. K-Bill 458, will pies and paintballs be part of the next Indiegogo? I don't know. Nobody really took those levels. The only reason we had it is because there was a higher level that included those two. We might include a level that actually can get your likeness done in a miniature. Maybe. Punisher 1, I'm going to look Matt in regards to the Ghost Ark rules. Okay. Lidvid, did Jordan get the matching pants to his German camouflage jacket? I don't know. I really don't know. Galamir, that's what I asked last time, well, the time before, if the club would still be open, but at the time you were 50-50. Well, the club, we're still up in the air. We're going to try to keep it open, but you can definitely still come down and challenge us to battle reports. That will definitely be still there. Red Dragon, but if there's no store, I can't go there and say, shut up and take my money. It's true, but we'll just have to make do with you playing battle reports against us. Hammer T10, that would be cool. My likeness in a mini. Of course, it would be very handsome. Yeah. All right. I think we're done. Any last questions that pop up? 5. All right. Blood Angel of Minoth, is the Dark Potential artwork behind you available as a wallpaper? Because it is epic. It was available as a wallpaper exclusive to our first fundraiser, so I cannot release it because I had said it was exclusive. And unlike other gaming companies who say exclusive with this pre-order, I don't release it afterwards because that would not be exclusive. So, all right. Punisher 1 says the repair rule for the Ghost Ark says units of Necron warriors. Yeah, see exactly. The first Dragon says shirts. Are you going to keep selling shirts? Our intention is to keep selling shirts, yes. All right. I think we're done. Thank you very much for your questions. It's just about 4 o'clock. It's been a great sit and talk. Thanks to your questions. And I always enjoy your questions and questions and questions and doing Q&As and questions. They're fun. This is Matthew from MiniWarGaming. Have a great Easter. If you don't celebrate Easter, you can still have a great Easter, the day that Easter is, whether you celebrate it or not. I don't care. Have a good long weekend. If you don't have a long weekend, then have a good normal-sized weekend. If you don't have weekends at all, then have just a good couple next days. And you can have good days after that too. But I will see you next week. Happy wargaming.